You know what's interesting? We live in a world where being social is treated like a default setting. Like if you're not constantly meeting people, talking, showing up, staying connected, something must be wrong with you. But there's this entire group of people who don't feel that pull at all. Not sometimes, not occasionally, consistently. They don't crave conversations, they don't look forward to gatherings, they don't feel that missing out anxiety everyone talks about. And it's not always shyness, it's not always insecurity. Sometimes they just don't like socializing. So what's actually going on here? Because from the outside, it looks strange. Humans are supposed to be social, right? Well, not exactly. Let's break it down. Number one, different brains, different needs. First, we need to stop assuming that all humans are social in the same way, because they're not. There's this concept in psychology called optimal stimulation level. Basically, every brain has a different comfort zone for how much stimulation it can handle. Some people need constant activity, noise, interaction, movement. It energizes them, it makes them feel alive. But for others, that same environment feels overwhelming. Too many voices, too many expressions to read, too many conversations happening at once. It's not exciting, it's exhausting. And when something consistently drains your energy, your brain learns to avoid it. Not because you're broken, but because your system is trying to protect you. Number two, it's not always social anxiety. Now, here's a big misconception. People often assume that if you don't like socializing, you must be socially anxious. But that's not always true. Social anxiety is fear. You want to connect, but you feel judged, nervous, or uncomfortable. But for some people, there's no fear at all. There's just disinterest. They can talk, they understand social rules, they know how conversations work. They just don't feel a strong reason to do it. And that difference matters, because one is avoidance due to fear, the other is simply preference, and we often confuse the two and end up labeling people incorrectly. Number three, the hidden cost of interaction. Now, let's talk about something deeper. Energy. Every interaction costs something. Attention, focus, emotional processing. When you're talking to someone, your brain is constantly working, reading facial expressions, understanding tone, choosing the right words, predicting reactions. For some people, this process is automatic and effortless, but for others, it's heavy, and after a certain point, it becomes draining. So instead of feeling energized by people, they feel relief when they're alone. Not loneliness, relief. And that's a big distinction, because society often treats being alone as something negative. But for some individuals, solitude is not a lack of connection, it's where they recover. Number four, solitude feels peace. For some people, being alone isn't empty, it's peaceful. No expectations, no performance, no need to respond or react, just silence. And in that silence, their thoughts feel clearer. They can focus, they can think deeply, they can exist without pressure. So when they choose to be alone, it's not because they're avoiding people, it's because they've found a space where they feel calm. Number five, the problem with small talk. Now, let's address something people don't talk about enough. Most socializing is shallow. Small talk, repetitive conversations, predictable questions. How are you? What do you do? What's new? And for some people, that feels incredibly empty. They're not against connection. They just want depth, real conversations, honest thoughts, something meaningful. But most social environments don't offer that, so they lose interest. It's not people they dislike, it's the type of interaction. Number six, control and predictability. Here's another layer, control. Social situations are unpredictable. You can't control what people say, how they react, or how long things last. And not everyone enjoys that uncertainty. Some people prefer environments where outcomes are clear, where effort leads to results. When you're working alone, you know what you're getting. But in social settings, you invest time and energy, and sometimes you get nothing meaningful back. For certain personalities, that feels inefficient, so they start choosing environments where their energy feels more valuable. Number 7, overstimulation in modern life. Now, think about modern life for a second. Notifications, deadlines, constant noise. Your brain is already overloaded. So for some people, socializing feels like adding more pressure to an already full system. They don't need more stimulation, they need less. And choosing solitude becomes a way to regulate that, to reset, to breathe. Number 8, different sources of fulfillment. Here's something important. Not everyone gets happiness from people. Some people get fulfillment from ideas, from creating, from learning, from being in their own world. And that doesn't make them less human. It just means their reward system works differently. Number 9, why people take it personally. But here's where things get complicated. When someone doesn't like socializing, people assume they're rude, they're cold, they don't like me. But most of the time, it has nothing to do with you. It's not rejection, it's preference, and misunderstanding that creates unnecessary distance. So maybe there's nothing wrong. So if you're someone who doesn't enjoy socializing, maybe you're not antisocial. Maybe you just experience the world differently. Maybe you value depth over frequency. Maybe you protect your energy more carefully. Maybe you feel more comfortable in silence than in noise. Or maybe you just genuinely enjoy your own company. And that's not something to fix. That's something to understand. Because at the end of the day, we're not meant to experience life the same way. Some people thrive in crowds. Others find clarity in solitude. Some people recharge through connection. Others recharge through silence. And somehow, both are completely valid ways to exist. If this felt familiar, you're not alone. You're just wired differently. And that's okay. So subscribe our channel for more content on psychology. Also, share this videos with family, friends, and other people. Also, like the video and comment down your views.